Hi, this is an orientation for the writing assignment for MSN student orientation. The objectives of this orientation is to let you know about this assignment. This assignment is to evaluate students' writing ability at the onset of the program, then to give them resources that are tailored to their writing ability. We want to make sure that students are getting through this program, meeting the MSN Essentials and the APU MSN program learning objectives, that they should have a competency in written and oral communication. To be leaders and collaborators, this is a necessary function of Master's Prepared Nurses. We also want to prevent students from getting to the end of the program to their COMPS final exam and not being able to write a paper to the degree that's necessary for them to pass. So we're going to assess their writing ability, but we can also assess their time management skills, their ability to follow directions, and if they have Microsoft Word or even a computer. The benefits of this, well, we can share these results with the students. We'll provide them resources, and we can refer them to the scientific writing course if they meet a poor standard or the poor criteria. We can increase the awareness of how important we think writing is in our MSN program. We can also share these results with the student advisors so they can track these students throughout the program. We can establish benchmarks for writing competency that we would like to have in our program. And then down the road, we can also do research on these factors that influence writing competency. So this isn't hard to do. On our campus, we've used Sakai site to do the assignment. And I provided the link here so you can get into the Azusa MSN Student Orientation Sakai site. If you can't get into it, let me or Julie Park know and we can add you to this Sakai site. You could import this assignment from the Azusa, from the Sakai site, but sometimes I'm a little wary to do that because once I had all my information deleted, but that's user error. So if you're pretty confident, you can just have the Sakai assignment added into your Sakai site that you create on your campus for your student orientation. Or it's really easy to create a new assignment. What I want to let you know is when you do create a new assignment, make sure that the open date is about 15 minutes or half an hour before the times the students will complete the assignment. Otherwise, they'll get in there and they'll have the assignment done and not be listening to you. Or they'll do it at home depending on the due date or the assignment open date that you've chosen. Or they'll do it, if you have it at 8 o'clock and your assignment's at 10, from 8 to 10 they'll be writing the assignment, not focusing on what you're trying to tell them during the orientation. Also make sure that the assignment closes right after the time allotted for this assignment. We had some students last semester that took this assignment home and completed it and then submitted it that evening. And so now we've learned to close this assignment right afterwards. Also, you should provide 1 hour for the assignment. And this should be after any kind of orientation talks you have about writing, like an APA workshop or the art of argument. Some writing prompts. We've asked students to write about different topics. We ask them to write no more than 1 page, and usually they only write, maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs, so not too much of a burden to grade. This semester I'm thinking to ask them how they think their role will change when they become a Master's Prepared Nurse. And the reason why I don't say advanced practice nurse is because this will also be for students in the MSN Nursing Education Program and the Healthcare Administration Leadership Program. So you're going to ask them to follow the APA format, to put the name on the paper and the file name, upload the files as an attachment as well. So we have a rubric that Pam Cohn has nicely put together for evaluating this writing assignment. And you go through, it's a little checklist there, and looks at how well they can follow directions, use English, spell, punctuation. So then you give them a score. So if they have mostly fairs, but some goods, you can have a fair to good. And there's few students that had met all the excellent objectives. So you just go ahead and put checks in where they the category they fall in most of the time is what you would give them for their grade. These are based on the category or the grade that they get. These are the recommendations that we give them to them. So excellent. You make consistent use of the writing resources that we have available. Good, you use the writing resources, but consider the writing center as needed. If they have a fair grade, then recommend use of the writing resources and writing center on all assignments. And poor, you will strongly recommend students to take the scientific writing course, remind students of the writing resources, and strongly recommend the writing center for all drafts of writing assignment. We will vote at one of the MSN council meetings on whether we want to make this scientific writing course mandatory if they get a poor grade. So start thinking about that if you agree or not. Within the rubric, Pam has put all the resources that are available on the Writing Center. So you can go ahead and you can highlight some of these resources that you think your students will really get benefit from. And just go in and make them red, or just highlight them so the student knows those are the ones that they should look at. So our prompt for the last orientation was to write a one-page paper on how should advanced practice nurses be prepared to care for the underserved and vulnerable populations. And here's just a few exemplars. Helping or uplifting other individuals' life provides a golden joy that cannot be erased in one's life, and the life of the person improved. An old saying states, "A hen does not forget who dried their tail during the rainy season." Another part of a writing assignment was, in a word, when nurses encounter the patients who are underserved and vulnerable, they need to do more to understand them and do an effective communication to employ standard and safety nursing practices. So you can see in here how there can be some improvement. But this was about, on average, how the students wrote. So there is room for improvement. When we looked at the results here, our N was 77, I believe, and we had 4 students in the excellent category, 1 excellent to good, 24 in the good category, 7 fair to good, 25 fair, 4 poors, and 8 poor. So over time, we can collect this data and we can add more demographics to what we're collecting. Is English second language? Are they having better results or worse? Do the ELM students that take the scientific writing course, do they perform better on this writing assignment? So we can really look at some variables that influence writing and hopefully put resources together that will help students improve their writing. And by doing this, I think you will all agree we would benefit from getting papers that are easier to read. And because we all know that a good paper takes a lot less time to grade than a bad paper. So thank you for listening to this orientation to the MSN student writing assignment, and look forward to having some conversations about this with you and getting your input. Thank you.